Prambanan, Indonesia. Hello guys, you know what is this? This is the Candi Prambanan, the second biggest Hindu temple in the world after the Angkor Wat that we visited not long ago. This is also one of the biggest temples in Indonesia and it's also one of the most visited. Now this is the temple dedicated to, it's called the Trimurti temples, which means that it's dedicated to the three main gods in Hinduism: Brahma, Shiva and Vishnu. Okay, so the structure of the temple followed like a kind of a similar pattern to the Buddhist temple.
Excuse me?
Hello?
Yeah, we are doing a video. We are doing a video.
Okay, let's do the photo. Halo. Foto.
Kenang-kenangan nanti ya.
Yeah. Small lady.
Beautiful, very beautiful.
Udah.
Ya?
Udah.
Jar, sini. Sini. Ibu juga.
Ibu.
Loh, ya silakan itu.
Yes. One first time. Very beautiful, very beautiful.
Terima kasih ya.
Terima kasih. Hey, you're a model. I'm a bit confused, madam. Can you? This is your phone. Lovely. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. Apologies for the interruption. So, the ancient kingdoms.
We're doing a video. We're doing a video.
Sorry again for the interruption. So, the Hindu and Buddhist temples of the Hindu-Buddhist kingdoms follow some similar structure and plan of the main temples. In particular, usually they are divided in three sections, from the less to the most holy area, and this is both horizontally and vertically. So, for example, here we are in the most external part of the temples, which is Urklova, and also the bottom of the temples is the lowest and the least sacred part. This is usually the part that the realm of the humans and the mortals and animals and demons as well. The closer we go to the main temples, the more important, sacredly speaking, the place is. Let's go. The closer we get to the main temples, here we are in the world in between the lesser realm and the inner circle, and this is the Bhuvarloka, and is the world of the lesser gods, the holy people, and the world and realm of those who start to see the light, who are a bit closer to the world of gods. This part is house of some 224 temples here all around, and then there are the 16 main temples in the inner area. Now all these temples are almost stones because they're still working and there's still a lot to do to rebuild all the ancient temples. And let's go to see the main area, which is the most important, the heart of this temple.
What's going on, Giacomo?
I don't know.
I saw you surrounded by kids.
Yeah, they're taking the pictures.
Okay. Right.
Terima kasih. Take photo.
Oh no, you just started something. You don't want to continue. No, you don't want to continue that. Okay.
Fotos.
Yeah.
All together. All together.
Together.
Oh my God, it's getting too far.
Marcelina,
Hey.
This is going a bit too far.
That other guy.
Oh, look! Balu.
They are European.
Come here, photo.
Oh yeah, there are beautiful guys over there. You can take a picture.
So here we can see some of the 224th Candi Pervara. Candi means temple, Pervara means ancillary, so minor temples that surround the main square and the main encircled area. And most of them are in ruin nowadays because there's a slow process of reconstruction, which is the anastylosis, which consists in reusing the original stones to rebuild it. Okay, and this wall is what separates the two realms symbolically. So we got the Buvaloka that we just explained, and then the inner realm, the inner sacred, and so the holiest place is the Svarloka. Okay, in the inner holiest place there are 16 temples. 4 of them are the Kadipatok, smaller temples on each corner of the inner square. Then there are 4 Candi Kelir, which are right next to the gates of the inner sections, each of them on a different cardinal direction, north, south, east and west. There are 2 Apit temples in between the 2 main row of temples. The second row of the most important 3 temples are the Vahana temples, which are the vehicles of the main gods. So we got, respectively, the Kandi Nandi, Temple Nandi, which is the bull, with the bull as a transportation for Shiva, which is indeed on the opposite side.
Oh, a little bit of peace.
No wonder why inside there's a statue of a bull, of Kandi, the bull, which traditionally transports Shiva. Beside it there are 2 more statues of Surya and Candra. Surya, the god of sun, is pulled by 7 horses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And Candra, the god of moon, pulled by 10 horses. And in front of the Vishnu temples, we have the Kandi Garuda, dedicated to the sacred bird transporting Vishnu. Okay, and in front of the Brahma temple, there's the Angsa, the last of the Vana temples.
What are you doing?
Because, well, before, actually now there is no statue, but it was lucky that before there was a statue of the sacred swan, you know, the sacred swan, which is the carriage of Brahma, but doesn't exist anymore.
No, don't see anything.
Okay, so the main 3 temples are called the Trimurti temples and are dedicated to the main gods of this important site. We have Brahma, Shiva and Vishnu. This is the temple dedicated to Brahma, the creator. Inside there should be a statue dedicated to it.
Here it is, Brahma.
And this is Brahma, the creator. And indeed you can see 4 faces, 4 arms, and he stands on a yoni.
Oh wow.
The Prambanan Temple was built in the 9th century, or at least its construction started in the mid-9th century, around the 850 AD. The king who started the construction was Rakai Pilkatan. but he didn't see the construction completed because it was his successor, the King Lokepala, that eventually completed the temples. Now this was the center of the power of the Mataran kingdom, which was ruling this region back then. Now, no long after, so around 100 years later, the temple was abandoned. Mysteriously actually, because we don't really know if it was as a consequence of a volcano eruption or because of a clash of powers. But we know that the center of power was shifted to the east part of Java. In the 16th century, unfortunately, an earthquake destroyed it. And it was just in the 17th century that a VOC explorer, VOC is the Dutch East India Company, came here and firstly reported the existence of this place. And then in the 19th century, slowly there was finally they started some archaeological excavation. During the 20th century, temple was destroyed, was actually damaged during the war, but it was finally rebuilt using the Sanyastilo style, which consists in rebuilding the same construction using the same stones. Thanks to the hard work of the many experts, today we can finally enjoy these temples as they look back then. And the third of the Trimurti temples is the one dedicated to Vishnu.
Yeah, it smell like armpit.
Okay, from each temple there are narrative panels and relief on the inner part of the baluster that surround the second level of each temple. This means that every temple tells a kind of story. This is the Vishnu temples, and the story depicted, this amazing relief, is the history relating to Krishna. Okay, now we are about to enter in the most sacred place of the whole site. The main temple, which is the temple of Shiva, which is encircled by another adorned wall and 4 gates. But it will be pretty hard to record because there are plenty of tourists and there's literally a river of people coming in and out of this place. But
Yes.
we'll try to do our best.
Huh.
Like many other Hindu temples, the main building resembles the Mount Meru, the mount sacred for the Hindu religion. This temple is 47 meters high and is the highest in Indonesia. The main chamber has a 3 meters high Shiva statue, which is the holiest statue, the holiest place in the whole temple.
This is Shiva. This behind me. I show you the carpet.
It's a nightmare.
Under the statue of Shiva there's a naga, see, that sustain a yoni. That on top there's a lotus flower, and on top of the lotus flower we have a 3 meters high Shiva statue. Now this is the God, the supreme God, so it's the holiest place of the temple. Some historians claim it actually was made to resemble a king that died, and so resembling the king, and the whole temple was made in his honor. But these are just hypotheses. On the left you have the beginning of the Ramayana. See here? Is the
No, you don't see any. Okay, yeah.
Here is the beginning of the Ramayana. So clockwise you tell the story all around the temples, and then it continues on the temples over there, on Brahma temples. From left to right, clockwise, continue the story. All in beautiful and amazing carved panels. The west chamber has a statue of Ganesha. The north chamber is even the most is also the most important personally, because it's the chamber of Durga, the consort of Shiva. Am I right?
Yes.
And also,
You have to put a statue. This is not the god, the statue of the goddess of Durga.
the statue of the goddess
Yes.
of
A minimum
Durga.
with 3 words.
The slayer of the bull.
3 words. So if you meet Shiva, the statue of the god of Shiva.
The
Vishnu,
statue.
the statue of the god of Vishnu. Always with 3 words to represent something.
Of course.
Because they are not the god.
It's not the god, it's the statue representing the god. Thank you very
3
much.
words
for
to
that.
represent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes,
Terima
yes,
kasih. Terima kasih. This is the statue of Durga, representing the consort of Shiva, and also the bull demon slayer.
The bull demon slayer.
Yeah, she was killing. This is the demon. This is the demon who was killing the bull, sacred bull, and she was slaying the demon. Was killing the demon. See, he's pulling from on his hair. Now, behind this amazing statue, this beautiful statue, there's a legend, a beautiful legend. The legend of Rara Jogarte. Indeed, this statue is called also Rara Jogarte, which is also the name of the temples. And I'll tell you more about it.
Quando mai? Dammi qua, da. Basta.
The temple of Prambanan is also known as the Rara Jongrang temples, which also means the 1,000 temples. And this is because of a legend that is related to the statue of Durga that we saw before, the legend of Rara Jongrang. The story goes that once upon a time there was a king that was named Bandung Bondowoso, and he was willing to marry the beautiful princess Rara, but she disagreed with it. She didn't want to marry him, also because she was the daughter of an important king that was defeated by Bandung Bondowoso. So he enforced her to marry him, but she put a quest that seemed impossible. She said that she's going to marry him if and only if he was able to build 1,000 temples in one night, in a single night. So the king, Bondowoso, put himself in meditation, and he called all the spirits and demons to come, right? And the spirits came and helped him to build all these temples. And he was about to finish when he built 999 temples. The princess Rara saw that he was about to finish the quest, and so to achieve her what she asked him. But she has told her maids to wake up and start beating the rice and burn the wheat, so in order to resemble the day to come. At that point, the cocks, noticing that think that the day was coming, start to sing, and this make the spirits and demons stop working at the temples, and failing the quest. The king, Bondowoso, realizing that he was fooled and he was tricked by the princess, turned her into a statue, into stone, and built the last temple, the last biggest of the temples, which is nowadays the main Shiva temples, according to legend, and turn her in the most beautiful statue of the temple. So that's why still nowadays the temples is also known as the Rara Jongrang temples. This is the Seu temple. Seu means thousands, which means literally thousands of temples, and this is related with the legend I just said. Indeed, it is called as thousands of temples, although actually there are not thousands, there are 249 temples still a lot, to be fair. The Seu temples. This is a Buddhist temple, Mahayana Buddhist temple built at the end of the 8th century, and is composed by 240 Parawana temples, smaller guardian temples all around, and 8 Kandi Apit temples like these, 8, which surrounds the main central temple. This is actually the biggest Buddhist complex in Indonesia. It's not the biggest temples because it's Borobudur, but the complex as a complex is the biggest Buddhist complex in Indonesia.
So I was wanting to say something. This place, this temple we are visiting right now, and the other temple we've been visited early are just amazing places. Very sacred, very old, and very beautiful places. The only problem is that they are extremely busy. So as they are very touristic because of their beauty. So sometimes when you are visiting such a place and you experience so much interaction and tourism and people around you, it makes you feel a bit detached from the places you are visiting. So that's, I guess, this video, it seems a bit chaotic and confusing, but I hope you still manage to see the beauty behind those. No, the beauty is not only behind, but the beauty of these amazing sacred places.